I'm 73 years old and I've been retired for 8 years now. When I left my job, everyone said the same thing. They said I'd earned it, that I'd worked hard, that now I could finally do all the things I'd been putting off. I believed them. I thought retirement would feel like freedom, like waking up without an alarm and realizing the day was mine. I thought I'd travel, read all those books I'd collected, maybe take up painting again like I did when I was younger. But that's not what happened. What happened is I woke up on my first Monday without work, made my coffee the same way I always had, and sat down at the kitchen table. And I didn't know what to do. Not in an excited way, in a lost way. I kept waiting for the relief to come, for that feeling everyone talks about when they retire. But it never did. Instead, I just felt absent, like I'd been so busy getting to this moment that I forgot to think about what the moment would actually be. Let me go back a bit. I worked for 42 years. Started when I was 23, right out of college. Secretarial work at first, then office management, then eventually I was running operations for a mid-sized insurance firm. It wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. And I was good at it. I worked 5 days a week, sometimes 6. I answered phones, filed claims, managed schedules, put out fires. I was the person people came to when something went wrong. I liked that. I liked being needed. My husband Richard worked too. He was in sales, gone a lot. We didn't mind. We were both busy. We'd have dinner together most nights, talk about our days, watch a little TV, go to bed. Weekends were for errands, groceries, laundry, yard work. We'd see friends occasionally, go to a movie, nothing special. We told ourselves we'd do more later, when we had time. We had one daughter, Amy. She was born when I was 31. I took 6 weeks off when she was born, then went back to work. Richard's job didn't pay enough on its own, and I liked working. It gave me structure, purpose. Amy went to daycare, then school. I'd drop her off in the morning, pick her up in the evening. We'd have dinner, I'd help with homework, and then I'd finish up anything I hadn't gotten done at the office. I missed some things, school plays, field trips, parent volunteer days. But I made it to the big stuff, birthdays, holidays. I thought that was enough. I thought she understood. When Amy was in high school, she stopped asking me to come to things. She'd mention a concert or a game in passing, and I'd say I'd try, but we both knew I probably wouldn't make it. Work was busy. There was always something urgent. She didn't seem upset. She seemed fine. I thought that meant it was okay. Richard retired at 62. I kept working. He'd ask me when I was going to stop, and I'd say soon, but I wasn't ready. I didn't know what I'd do if I wasn't working. He filled his days with golf and woodworking. We still had dinner together, but we didn't talk as much. I don't think either of us noticed. When I finally retired at 65, Richard had been retired for 3 years. Amy was 43, living 2 states away with her husband and 2 kids. I thought retirement would bring us all closer, that I'd finally have time to visit Amy more, to be the grandmother I'd always planned to be, that Richard and I would travel, reconnect, do all the things we said we'd do. But it didn't work that way. Richard had his routines by then, his golf buddies, his projects in the garage. He didn't need me there. He'd gotten used to his days without me. And Amy was polite. She'd answer when I called. She'd send pictures of the kids. But when I suggested visiting, there was always a reason it wasn't a good time. School schedules, work trips, sports commitments. I started to realize she'd built a life that didn't include me, not out of spite, just out of necessity, because I hadn't been there when it mattered. I'd been at work. The first year of retirement, I tried to stay busy. I joined a book club, but I didn't connect with anyone. I volunteered at the library, but it felt hollow. I wasn't needed there. I was just filling time. I'd wake up and the day would stretch out in front of me, empty. I started noticing things I'd never noticed before. How quiet the house was, how few people called, how the phone would go days without ringing. I'd spent 42 years being busy, being needed, being someone people relied on, and now I was just here. Richard died 2 years after I retired. Heart attack, sudden. He was in the garage 1 minute, gone the next. We'd been married for 44 years, and I didn't know him anymore. Not really. We'd lived side by side for so long without actually seeing each other. After he died, I thought Amy would come around more. That maybe we'd finally have the relationship I'd always imagined. But she didn't. She came for the funeral, stayed a few days, and then she went back to her life. She calls on holidays, sends cards, but that's it. I don't blame her. I know why. I wasn't there when she needed me, so now she doesn't need me at all. And I can't fix that. I'm 73 years old. I live alone in a house that's too big. I have enough money. I'm healthy enough. I have everything I thought I was working toward, but I don't have what matters. I don't have people who want to spend time with me. I don't have closeness. I don't have the kind of relationships where someone calls just to talk. I thought retirement would be the reward, the prize at the end of all that work. But it's not a reward if you're alone. It's just time, a lot of time, and nothing meaningful to fill it with. I think about the moments I missed, the small ones, the bedtime stories I didn't read because I was answering emails, the Saturday mornings I spent at the office instead of at home, the conversations I cut short because I was tired. I thought there would be time to make up for it later. But you can't make up for presents with presents. You can't make up for years of absence with a few visits. People don't wait around forever. I thought I was doing the right thing, working hard, providing, being responsible, and I was, but I was also choosing work over connection every single day, and now I'm here. I have a savings account, a paid-off house, a career I can look back on, but I don't have anyone who misses me when I'm not around. I see other people my age with full lives, grandkids who visit, friends they've known for decades, people who matter to them and who they matter to. I don't have that because I didn't build that. I built a career, and careers don't keep you company. If you're reading this or listening to this and you're still working, still busy, still telling yourself you'll make time later, I just want you to know, later comes faster than you think. And when it does, you can't go back. You can't call someone you ignored for 20 years and expect them to be waiting. You can't undo the moments you missed. You can't rebuild relationships you never invested in. You just can't. I'm not telling you to quit your job or abandon your responsibilities. I'm just telling you what I learned too late. That the people you love won't wait forever. That the years go by whether you're paying attention or not. That being busy isn't the same as being alive. I wish I'd known that. I wish someone had told me. But maybe no one could have. Maybe I had to learn it myself. I just wish I'd learned it sooner. I don't know how much time I have left. Maybe 10 years. Maybe less. And I'll spend it the same way I'm spending it now. Alone. Because that's what I built. If this meant something to you, I hope you'll think about it. not in a guilty way, just in an honest way. Ask yourself what you're building and whether it's what you actually want, because one day you'll be where I am and you'll know.